Okay, this is a shouldering vlog about how to help your horses to stop shouldering. If you have no idea what shouldering is, let me just tell you. Even if you don't ride horses, you're gonna love this video because it's a little ASMR of like watching horses and how they operate because it's so cool. So shouldering is when a horse is running to a barrel in the barrel race and it goes like this and drops down, resulting in a 5-second penalty. So what we wanna do is get the horses to run more straight and square, and the people, which are typically the bigger problem, is us, not them. But we wanna get us riding really straight and proper in the forward motion direction so these horses aren't like leaning like this. We tend to go like this and then wonder why they hit barrels, or we tend to go like this and then wonder why they take our knee out. So I'm gonna show you what has worked for me, and it might just work for you.
Nice run, Fallon Taylor.
As always, makes an incredible entrance.
First in a bar at the age of 13. Then she broke her neck. She overcame all of that.
Fallon's now world champ.
World champion.
Congratulations. She knew that she could do whatever she set her mind to.
What's up, Flomies? Welcome back to my channel. You guys, I'm coming live to you from the back of Florari. This is my 3-year-old BABYFLO baby. She is sired by the great Metallic Cat, which is a cutting horse stallion. This filly is gigantic. We were told that Metallic Cat throws big babies, and I just did not believe them. But this gorgeous liver chestnut gal is thick and juicy. So what we are doing for a few YouTube vlogs for you because of high demand is going back to my YouTube roots 12 years ago. I started vlogging 12 years ago, and I would do all of these like YouTube tips. Now, unfortunately, YouTube is gonna block all the music that I used to use, but I'm more of a hip hop cowgirl, and I used to have like Nicki tracks or Biggie laid down on top of my tips. We're gonna have to just like get royalty free funky with it and show you exactly what I mean. So today's tip from my old school YouTube vault is gonna be on shouldering. So I feel like this is the question I get asked most about on Instagram or anything else, and that is, how do I get my horse to stop shouldering? So I wanna show you on this 3-year-old. Now she turns tight. Cody, why don't you show a little piece of that second barrel action from just a second ago? Nice. Okay, now that Cody has rolled that footage, let me show you how we would go back and correct this just a little bit. To the untrained eye, second barrel looks wicked fast. It looked absolutely amazing. To me, I know that when the money is on the line, I'm not gonna be maybe riding as good, because under pressure, our brain tends to shut off. Like, there's so many people that come out after their run and they're like, I literally don't remember anything. Let me tell you why that is really quick. Another tip, you sometimes hold your breath for the entire 13 to 17 seconds that you're in the arena, and you come out and you're literally fogged up. So 90% of this game is mental. You have to get to the point where you can start making really great decisions really quickly. So having all those things in your toolkit and not being overwhelmed by nerves and anxiety will allow you to access your toolkit. So practicing what's in your toolkit is the very best thing you can do, because you'll know muscle memory. Okay, if this happens, then I do this. And you don't have to prep yourself with anything, you simply just do it. Okay, so let's look first at the angle at the second barrel. Back in the day, this is what we did. We tipped their hips to the inside. This is not the way that's gonna make it super fast for you. So what we did was we used our outside leg, tipped their hips way in, and then we moved them way out here like this. Unfortunately, that's not gonna work. And if you've been doing this for a while, you already know that it's not gonna be the effective way to help you actually run and not hit the second barrel or to fix that shouldering problem. So instead, what we do is walk across here, keep these horses straight, more in frame, and put even pressure on the inside and the outside, asking these horses to create space between the barrel and themselves. Did you see that small correction? Right when she went to lean in, because we used to do that old style teardrop thing, I asked her to come out and create space, and then she held the responsibility of that space on her own. My favorite thing to do is to trot or lope a horse across the pen and see where they naturally drop in. Then correct them and create even pressure on the inside rein and outside rein, and ask them to be a little bit more responsible for the space and asking all 4 legs to move forward instead of worrying so much about the rib cage. That should help you a lot. This is what it looked like from the front. We would tip their hips way in like this and then lift our hand really high across their neck and move them way over like this. But that's not gonna work. And if you've done this again for any amount of time, you know that this has not at all been effective for you. So instead, what we're gonna do is create about half the space using a little inside hand pressure and a little outside hand pressure. And then we're actually gonna drop our saddle horn a little bit further behind the barrel. So stay two-handed until about 3/4 of the way around the barrel, then drop to your saddle horn, and that'll help you so much. So back in the day, we used to tip their hips in and then pick our hands up really high and across their neck. We don't do that anymore. See, what we've learned now is that we want the horse to run as hard as it possibly can to its spot, or the place around the barrel where it begins to slow down to actually create the turn with its shoulders coming around. So we don't put hips in anymore, and we don't raise our hands up like this. But again, this is a Hail Mary sport. So if you have to do a little picking up, you got to do a little moving over at the last second, do you. Get it done. Whatever keeps those barrels up and keeps those +5s gone and away, that's what we're trying to do. So what you want to do is create space going into the barrel while not creating a slowdown in momentum. And how we do that now is running straight and staying two-handed longer. So we used to think being way out would help us. We used to think being in way close would help us. Even I made YouTube videos about it. But now we kind of split the difference, and we're going to be right in the middle of those two things, holding our horses in frame. So that means a little bit of pressure on the inside and a little bit of pressure on the outside to keep these horses running in a straight line. If your cowboy boyfriend or cowboy friend has ever told you, why don't you just run that sumbug straight instead of running him over it? Well, he's kind of right, but like, don't tell him. He won't be watching this anyway. Don't tell him, but that's pretty true. It means keeping these horses framed up and running straight. They're going to be faster than if they're confused about where to switch leads and deceleration and acceleration. Just running clean and straight all the way across the pen until we ask them to turn is the ultimate goal, because that's going to make them the very fastest. And remember, they don't need our help turning and rolling back insanely fast out in the pasture when they're playing, so they probably need a lot less help from us right here in the barrel pattern too. So all barrel tips are do as I say, not as I do. And what I mean by that is barrel racing happens very quickly. And so your mentor, your trainer, the chick you follow on YouTube could tell you to do it one way, but the way that works is always going to be the best way. Now, with that said, you can do things as an emergency, or as we call them, a Hail Mary, to just get by for the day. Just like I did in today's run on Florari, it was more of a Hail Mary than some technique that I would try to teach somebody on YouTube. So make sure you're doing what works and what works in the moment. Don't criticize yourself for not being perfect. There are many barrel racers that I know, love, and look up to that do things completely unorthodox that look absolutely crazy, and you know what? It works every time for them. So this is just a suggestion. I've won a couple of world titles. I've done really well in my career, and this is what's currently working. That's ever evolving and ever changing every single day, because as we breed these horses a little bit better, they're going to get smarter, and we're going to have to ride better every single generation. I hope that this tip helped you. I hope that you had fun riding with us today. Smash the like button if you absolutely love these old school tips, and I will keep them coming. You guys, make sure you're subscribed to look forward to the super hot tea that's coming up in the series very, very soon. And as always, don't forget to count your blessings, drink your protein, and say